that allows you to be you?
Shit. Excuse my language, but no filter. I don't care how y'all feel. I don't care how you feel. I don't care how you feel. I don't care how you feel. I'm here to win, hold my teammates accountable, hold myself accountable.
And that is what you didn't have last year. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, kick Dingbat here. So the Eagles were back at practice today, and we are less than a week away from the Eagles' first preseason game. And I gotta say this: there are players right now making their moves up the depth chart. One of them who's definitely do it, my man, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. That's right, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Britton Covey, he's another one. Quinyon Mitchell, he's another one. We got some battles going on, and preseason is going to be absolutely fantastic. And as interesting as practice was today, there was nothing more interesting than watching CJ Gardner-Johnson's press conference. Because what CJ Gardner-Johnson showed at that press conference today was exactly why the Eagles signed him. He is exactly what the Eagles were missing last year. If you think that the San Francisco 49ers are going to come in and bully the Eagles last year with CJ Gardner-Johnson, you're crazy. It's not going to happen. All I can say is this: if you haven't watched the CJ Gardner-Johnson press conference, watch it today, because he gives you an element of swagger. He gives you an element of an attitude that was sorely missed by this team. The Eagles needed this kid to come back, and we're lucky to have him. And I'm going to say this: we talk a lot about him being a ball hawk. We talk a lot about him being, having a lot of swagger. But he's a good safety. He's only been playing it a couple years. He's still learning the position, and he's only going to get better. CJ Gardner-Johnson is a great signing for the Eagles, and I could not be happier to have him. Seriously, what a great press conference by CJ Gardner-Johnson today. Now, as far as practice went, here is the injury report for the Eagles. Jeff McClain wrote this. Pound Eagles practice report. Will not practice. Mekhi Becton, illness. Oren Burks, knee. Paris Campbell, groin. Mekhi Gardner, hamstring. Eli Ricks, illness. Brandon Smith, concussion. Tyler Steen, ankle, and then limited is Josh Jobe, concussion. Most of these injuries, if not all of them, are really day-to-day type injuries, things like that. The one that I would keep an eye on, and we'll talk a little more about it later in this video, is Paris Campbell and that groin injury. Because let me tell you something. If you have a groin injury like a hamstring, it can linger. It can linger, especially if you don't do matrimonial duties and you're clogged. It makes it worse. So we got to keep an eye on Paris Campbell. No question about it. But as far as the defense goes, okay, there are guys moving up this depth chart, and it's the perfect timing, and it's exactly what I thought would happen with some of these guys. All right, here was your first team defense on 11 on 11s today. Isaiah Rodgers at cornerback. He started opposite Slay. This was the third straight day he started opposite Slay. 4th overall to Kylie Ringo's 3 overall. What that tells me is that they're battling right now between the both of them. Quinyon Mitchell starts in the slot, all right, over Avonte Maddox. They're trying to get Quinyon Mitchell on the field. He has made his move, and it is my belief that by week 1, he won't be in the slot. He will be starting on the outside, okay? I love Quinyon Mitchell, much like CJ Gardner-Johnson. He has a certain attitude that I really like. Now, at linebackers, of course, it was Zach Bond and Devin White again. Those guys continue to pretty much start every day. But I don't know how much longer it's going to last, and we'll talk about that in a second. But listen, speaking of Q again and finishing up with Quinyon, Quinyon is going to rise up this depth chart, and I believe he's going to start week 1. Okay? Here's what Devontae Smith said about Q today. Devontae Smith said that, according to Martin Frank, that this was the first day he matched up on Quinyon. He said Q gave him that route was trash line. So he's already telling Devontae Smith route was trash. He told A.J. Brown the route was trash. I like the attitude that he gives, that C.J. Gardner gives. We need that swagger. But I really believe that at the end of the day, he's going to end up being the starting outside cornerback. I do. I think they're going to end up being really good at corner. I think they're going to be very deep at corner. And, we'll see how it goes. So you have that battle going on there. Then you have the whole linebacker situation. I'd still, to be honest, we've heard some good things about Bond. We have. But I still got to be honest with you. I don't know if the whole thing with Zach Bond is because Nakobe Dean isn't giving us what he needs, or has Bond just been that good? Because if Bond has been that good, why did it take all those years in New Orleans? Did they not know to put him off the ball linebacker? Like, why couldn't he play there, but also he's playing here? I don't know. But I do know this. My man Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is making his move. Every day at camp, more and more, he's getting more and more reps with the first team. He had a sack the other night during open practice. He got first team reps again, and this is becoming a consistent thing. Once Jeremiah Trotter Jr. takes that starting role, once he starts one game next to Devin White this year, he is not relinquishing that linebacker role. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. making his move, and you got to absolutely love it. So before we go on any further, I wanted to tell you guys about a company that contacted me. And this company contacted me, and they told me that they do merchandise for Devin White, for A.J. Brown, as well as a bunch of other players throughout the league. And they wanted to send me a shirt, and kind of see what they have, and then share it with you guys. So I wanted to do that. They sent me a couple Devin White shirts. I think an A.J. Brown shirt is on the way. Now these are their official line. Okay, so this is Devin White. This is one of his shirts. Very nice. Quality is really good. Very well done shirt. This is Devin White's official brand, I believe, his line. And the name of the company is called Mystery Hype. And they basically, they got exclusive merchandise for all sorts of stars. They do a lot of different players, official merchandise. So they asked me to share their website, and I wanted to do that. MysteryHype.com. Go check it out. If you decide to buy a shirt, just put my promo code in your purchase, and you should be good to go. But I wanted to share it with them. When I get the Devin White one, I will definitely tell you guys about it. But it's a great site, very orderly, very well done, and the shirts, very they're good shirts, really good shirts. So the product is of high quality. They got a lot of players, and they got all sorts of different merchandise and stuff that you guys could shop for. So definitely check it out. They reached out to me, so I figured I would share it with you guys after having received the shirts. So definitely check them out. Also, as you guys know, we have the Philly Shakedown merchandise. We just released the redemption line for the season. You guys can also get that. I'm going to have a bunch of stuff coming out on that later. But the link is in the description for both type shirts. And man, there's some really good, really just awesome Philly Shakedown merchandise. You guys are going to love it. My favorite one right now is the Swole Batman. I love it, but I love them all. Definitely check it. Link in the description, and I'll have more on that stuff later. No doubt about it. Now, as far as the rest of practice goes, I want to spend some time on the wide receiver position because I want to think about this, okay? Earlier we talked about how Paris Campbell has a groin injury. So he has a groin injury, and groin, like I said, it's one of those injuries that can linger on like a hamstring, especially if your pipes are clogged. And the thing is there are guys making their move. Not only on defense, you saw we got Quinyon Mitchell making his move. You have Jeremiah Trotter Jr. making his move. And I'm talking about moving up the depth chart. Well, I think the wide receiver position, you have at least two guys going up the charts, okay? The offense, Jalen Hurts continues to be accurate, continues to look great at practice. Devontae Smith had the catch of the day. But to me, the interesting story is the guys rising up the depth chart. Johnny Wilson continues to get first-team reps. It was like a week ago, it was like, well, Johnny Wilson may get some red zone reps. He may do some stuff with the first team in the red zone. He's getting more and more reps. It may turn into more than that. And not only that, Britton Covey is out there getting reps. All right, and this is where I tie it back into the Paris Campbell thing, right? Because Paris Campbell's groin, depending upon how long he's out for, it's going to give Covey a chance to move up the depth chart. And I think Covey is like Cole Beasley, right? I think Kellen Moore probably looks at him like Cole Beasley, and maybe he could utilize him like Cole Beasley. I would not be surprised if you see a situation where your slot wide receiver between the 20s is our boy Crash Test Covey. Then inside the 20 in the red zone, they put Johnny Wilson in there. I could see a situation like that happening. I mean, Paris Campbell, he's going to make this team, right? And this is the interesting thing. Like, who's the odd man out at wide receiver? So you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, locks. I think Paris Campbell is making his team. He's a lock. All right, so that's three that are making it. Four who I definitely think are making it is Crash Test Covey. Britton Covey is your best punt returner. Now, some people laugh when I say it, whatever, but I think he's the best punt returner on the team. I really do. So they can take him and get him reps in the slot. It becomes really interesting, right? But he's making a team. That's four wide receivers: Brown, Smith, Campbell, and Covey. They're making this team. I can tell you Johnny Wilson is making his team. All right? He's out there already getting first-team reps. They love his size. They're not getting rid of him. He's making his team. That's five wide receivers. How many receivers are the Eagles going to keep? 6? They're going to keep 7? I mean, they're probably going to keep 6. So who's the next guy that makes a team? It's down to John Ross and Aniyah Smith. If you think I think the Eagles are cutting a draft pick, it ain't happening. And Aniyah Smith has more upside than John Ross. John Ross has tremendous speed. He's trying to come back after retiring. I wish him nothing but the best. But I don't know how he's not the odd man out at this point, because Aniyah Smith is, as much as he struggled, the Eagles are not going to give up on him after just one training camp. If anything, maybe they stash him and they stash him on IR for the year, but that would be a complete waste of his rookie year. No, we got an interesting situation because John Ross and him are going to have to battle essentially for that last wide receiver spot. I don't know if you cut Aniyah Smith. I don't know that he makes it past waivers. I don't think he does. The kid has upside. He's struggling. I know that, but he has upside. So John Ross is going to have to go out there, and he's going to have a huge preseason. And he's got the speed. There's no question about it. But he's got to come up, make some plays. He's going to have to go out and do it. And listen, I like John Ross. I hope we keep both of them. I don't mind keeping 7 receivers. But will they? That's the interesting thing. So, I don't know. What if Campbell is hurt? Like the rest of preseason, I'm just throwing out there. Could they just let him go? I don't know. It's crazy. It's going to be interesting. But, I mean, Paris Campbell has looked okay. Britton Covey has looked good. Johnny Wilson has looked fantastic. Aniyah Smith hasn't looked good. And Ross, I haven't heard too much after the first day. So we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, we'll be back for practice tomorrow. 3 straight practices, I believe, then a walkthrough, then preseason game, which we will be live streaming. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision, baby. We're all just living in it. right, so shout out to BetUS because this is where I'm going to go to make some strato. Get this, right? Saquon Barkley, over under rushing yards, 1,025.5 yards. Are you kidding me? 1,025 yards and then 7.5 rushing touchdowns. Take the over. Take the over. I am taking the over on this. No question about it. I'm going to BetUS and I'm taking the over for both. I'm going to make, it's easy money to me. That's easy money. I think Barkley's around 1,400 yards. 1,400, maybe 15. Really, really good year. 7.5 touchdowns. I think he beats that too. I'm going and I'm taking the over. And I love the over in this situation. So if you guys want to take the over too, link is in the description. Just go, click on it, and then sign up BetUS. And yeah, let's get this thing done. We might as well make money together. Denzel Washington out.
Hi, Michael Anthony, Fitness here, MAF.
That's all, folks.